Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cheryl's Place. Look who I got today. The fabulous Will. Whoop, whoop. Man, you have patience of steel. We were supposed to do this last, I think, summer. But I appreciate you waiting and believing in me that I'd get this Hobbies and Passions back on track.
Yeah, not
So
a
thank you
problem.
for being here, Will.
Yeah, happy to be here.
And if anyone who's here in the chat that doesn't know Will, he is on YouTube and his channel name is The Grind with Will. He has all sorts of fun content and make sure you go check him out. So, Will and I met through our community of weight loss and exercise, but as we know, we're all more than just this community that we built. We have other joys in our life and things we like to do. Before I jump into any of that, I would like to thank Will. He was in the Army, and I want to thank you for your service. And I was curious, did you sign up after high school or college or?
It was after high school, before college.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah,
And how long did you stay in?
about 3 years.
All right. Well, I, along with everybody I know, want to thank you for your service.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, I'm going to just dive in. Well, hey, you did a lot for us, and I appreciate you greatly. So I just want you to know that.
Thanks.
So you, besides having hobbies and fun activities you do a lot of volunteer. And there's two places that you volunteer: the City Fire and Heavy Rescue, and County Search and Rescue. I'm curious, what did you have to do to get involved in this? Was there any tests, certain qualifications before you got into this?
The city fire one kind of just fell in my lap. They said they needed people, and I said, "Nah, sounds like fun." So I showed up and started training with them and got invited to join. And then the county search and rescue, with my military background, I had a lot of experience in ropes rescues and high angle rescue type things. So they let me in because I had experience in those, and I had a medical background because I was an EMT at one point. So
Oh, fabulous.
yeah,
So the city fire, did you, excuse me, did you have to learn everything like a firefighter would when they go off on a call?
yep,
Oh, that's
yeah. So
cool.
I had to learn several different things. So we did structure fire, where we actually did trainings where we lit a house on fire and went inside while it was on fire to fight it.
Wow.
Um, Most of what I do now is heavy rescue stuff. So the car crashes on the side of the roads with the jaws of life type stuff.
Hmm.
We have occasionally a house fire around here, but not very often.
And then with the heavy rescue, or I'm not sure which, or maybe both, the search and rescue with the county, is that when you would also use helicopter rescue?
Yeah. Yeah. So we use helicopters for life flight for the heavy rescue stuff. And then the search and rescue is where we use the helicopters for searching and recovery or whatever it is.
I was curious, what is kind of maybe your typical rescue? I'm sure there's like a handful of just your average type situations. What are some of those?
Most of them are underprepared people that didn't bring water with them to go hiking in the desert. As funny
All
as
right,
that
people,
sounds.
you heard that. Bring your water. Bring your water.
So,
Well, is there any like super memorable one that you don't need to get graphic or anything with it where you did have to use the helicopters and whatever, maybe some other big machines to save somebody or find somebody?
so we had one recently, it's probably in the last 6 months, where we had a climber that slipped, and when he fell, his foot got caught in the crack, and he
Mm.
was hanging upside down for 3 hours before we could get him out.
Oh, wowzers.
But he was so far out there, they transported our teams and all of our gear by helicopter and then transported him and all of us back. So
Oh, wow.
that one was a big one.
Oh, I can only imagine. And I'm sure they're all so happy to see you guys and gals. If there's any ladies in this organization, once you get them and help them back to
Yeah,
safety.
they're pretty grateful to see us.
Yeah, it's fascinating to me that people don't bring water, especially you live in Utah, the desert. What why wouldn't you? I mean, I'm in Minnesota. Yes, we have hot days, but still, it's like bring water. I don't.
Yeah,
Fascinating, fascinating.
it's kind of wild.
Well, people are interesting, aren't they? Well,
Yeah.
well, did you do that? Did you start doing the rescue and volunteer work shortly after you got home and were recovered? And that you did all your physical therapy and everything.
It took several years to get through that. And then
Sure.
I slowly worked into doing some of the easier stuff. But now that I've more physically able to do those kinds of things, then I
Hmm.
can get more involved.
Now, is this like a every other kind of weekend thing, or are you like on call?
On call all the time. I
Okay.
usually
Oh,
I
that's
usually
fascinating.
text them and tell them if I'm going to be gone, so that way they know not to count on me.
Sure. That yeah. Oh, well, that's fabulous. Well, this is just wonderful, Will. I just, I'm sure there's times where it's been really hard doing the volunteer hours, whatever situation. And then there's probably been easier ones.
Right.
And those harder ones probably super rewarding for you, that you were able to accomplish those. Well, I'm going to dive on into let's see. I think I asked most of the questions. I wrote down I was gonna go look up more things, but when I seen that it said kind of like learning how to be a firefighter, I thought, oh, then I'll just ask questions on that line. All right. This was a hard one, Will. I just don't know if you're gonna get a good answer from me.
You're
When
good.
did you decide to build a building of your own gym on your property?
Uh, it was a few years ago, but there's
Yeah,
no real public gyms here. The closest option we have is at the high school,
sure.
and it was just like cable machine stuff. And so it became difficult to find ways to work out there because like their bench press machine is limited on the weight that it could do. And so I decided that if I was going to do it right, I needed the right equipment to do it.
And plus, maybe not everybody knows you're a taller guy, so you're
Yeah.
probably able to lift a little bit more than the high schoolers, obviously. But just in general, yeah, because you're what 6'3", 6'4".
I'm 6'3". Yeah.
Yeah, so you're a taller guy, so you're able to handle more weight. So that makes sense. So did you just drop a plan, or you just kind of knew how you were going to do it, or how'd that all come about?
I kind of had a construction background. That's kind of how I worked at through high school and college. I did construction doing various different things. So I had an idea of how I wanted to build it. The main reason for the layout and how I built it was what's the cheapest way possible that I can build a structure. so
Mhm.
so that's
Yeah.
kind of what I went with. So
Well, yeah, structures are expensive. Come on now.
yeah,
And then you're like a savvy too. You got all your equipment on Black Friday to
I
get
did.
deals. So you didn't have
Yep,
to pay because equipment costs a lot of money too.
it does.
And does your wife and your son probably does it more for fun, but does your wife do use the gym too?
She does. Yep.
That's fabulous. What are the things you guys like to use the most that you have in the gym that you made?
Um, Probably the thing we use the most is we have a cable attachment on one of our power racks, so we can do different kinds of cable machines exercises, and it goes up to 300 pounds per cable, and there's two
Wow.
cables.
Wow.
So highly unlikely I'm going to ever need more than that. So, um, but it's
And you
nice to
have
get.
videos of your gym too, right? On your channel. I believe I've seen some videos
Yeah, there's a
of
few
your
of them in
home gym.
there. I
Yeah.
haven't done any recently with the new cable machine and stuff.
Okay.
I'm planning on doing one sometime soon just to show what we've got and what we've changed
Oh
because
yeah, that'd
it
be very interesting.
it's always evolving and changing because something I liked 2 years ago I don't use very often now, and so moving that out of the way to make space for something we'll utilize more often.
Well, and that's true. We grow, and sometimes the things that we do enjoy using, they're not our favorites anymore, and they serve their purpose while we had them.
Right.
Like I'll just use my rebounder. That's not a weight machine or anything, but I'm so glad I have that. But there's phases where I don't use it, and then I come back. I'm like, oh, this is fabulous. I use it some more.
Right.
So yeah, that's great that you guys can. Will you save the equipment, or will you like trade it off so then you can buy maybe different equipment in the future?
I sold some of it. So like one of the ones I sold is a leg extension, leg curl machine. And part of why I sold that is the cable machine that I got had an attachment that I could get to do the same thing. And then I didn't have a big piece of equipment sitting in the middle of the gym. So
Yeah.
then I could
Well,
use
especially is
something
that
else.
all that you could do with that equipment was just legs?
Yeah, that one was, that's all it would do. So
Okay. Yeah. So that makes sense. Unless you have a giant gym and it could have its own little area. But when, you're trying to maximize your space, that makes great sense. Yeah, I love that. I mean, I remember and then you guys um added, what did you do? A deck. You also did a deck on your house, right?
yeah, we did that this year.
You guys are just so I need to get some of that energy you guys have. That's for sure. I love it.
I lost it all.
It'll come back. It's in waves, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah, you have to check out his gym, and then hopefully we'll get a newer video up. But his gym is pretty cool, and it's just got all sorts of fun stuff. And then you got the big round. Wait, I don't know what they're called. The disc? Are they called discs?
I've got
That
the
you can add
Olympic.
onto the bar and stuff.
Yeah, the Olympic plates.
Oh, Olympic plates. And how heavy do you have those at?
I've got some that go up to 55 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah, that's awesome. No, Will, you're fabulous. You made this building. They got this whole gym going on. I just think that's so great. I mean, yeah, my building skills are not so good, and that's cool that you got that experience younger. So now you have this your whole life for anything,
right.
anything you want to make. Do you make any hunting shacks on your property?
Not here.
Oh,
Yeah, the hunting here is a little different than like east. So the mule deer travel. They don't kind of stay put. So
oh, sure.
yeah. So I do have like an archery blind there, but I'm less excited to shoot the deer that I see every day.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, let's just go right into hunting. I have this as a thing we got on here. So, since you see the same deer kind of in your location, do you travel to hunt then, or do you do any type of hunting near you?
I do travel a little bit to hunt. We do quite a bit here. We've done elk and deer, and then some turkey here.
And you also do bow and rifle, correct?
I do. Yeah.
And you do the old, I know one of our friends just got into it. Is it called something musket?
The muzzleloader.
Oh, is that what it's called? Where you have to do the I'm drawing a blank. Where you have the round. Is it the bullet?
Yeah, it's a
No, it's
bullet
called
or
something
ball.
else. Ball, like from a cannon. Imagine a big cannon, the ball, but now it's small to go in the gun, right?
Right.
And you have to do the powder and everything too?
Yeah, so I actually bought a super old one that I
Yeah.
might try to shoot a deer with. It's an old flintlock musket. So it's not the caps and stuff. It's got the flint rod and everything on it. So
Oh, cool.
we'll see if I get something.
Well, but they're kind of cool. Yeah, one of our friends just recently started doing that, and he's like, it's fun. But I don't think he has the flint. I think he has what you said.
Yeah, I wanted to go like old school with it.
Yeah, old school would be the
because-
flint where you have to light it. You have to light the flint and wait for it to.
Yeah.
So oh my gosh, excuse me. So mostly elk, deer, and turkey. But do you get to travel anywhere to get like different type of animals? And I know you didn't shoot a moose, which I thought you did because I wasn't paying any attention. Will sent me this picture of this giant elk. And I knew it wasn't a moose because the antlers weren't right. But what do I type? That's a huge moose. So, but that's in Canada and other places you see the moose, not Utah.
We have moose in Utah.
You
They're
do?
just
Oh
they're just
my gosh.
further north. Yeah.
Oh,
So I've been putting in to get a moose tag. I just haven't done it yet. They do it in
wow.
it's like a lottery system.
Okay.
So
Well, I
someday
know
I
that
might.
they can be very aggressive, so you would have to probably be pretty far away. Well, I would guess. I don't know. You tell us. How would that moose hunting go?
I
Would you
don't
have to
know.
be pretty far away so they don't try to
It
attack
depends.
you?
When I hunted elk in northern Utah, there were moose up there,
Yeah.
and it always works this way. When I'm looking for elk, I find more of everything else.
Yeah.
So we actually saw more moose than we saw elk that trip.
That's fascinating.
So it was kind of wild because down here we don't have moose. It's like one quick story on that. So we were walking through the trees and I'm looking on the ground and there's little pine sprigs on the ground. And I looked up, it's like 9 feet above me, and I'm like, what kind of elk walked through here? And then I realized, I'm like, oh, yeah, there's moose up here. That's probably what it was.
Oh,
Like
so wild.
their antlers
That's
rubbing the
fascinating.
branches running through.
Wow. Where is like maybe your dream place to go hunting?
Alaska would be.
Yeah.
I want to go see if I can shoot a grizzly with a bow up there.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So we'll see.
I like watching those shows, Alaska this, Alaska that, and watch people out on the trails or, doing whatever they're doing out there. Yeah, it's beautiful. And yeah, but then there's one thing that probably be attacked by bugs since it's so nature
Yeah.
rich.
I've heard the mosquitoes up there are pretty bad.
Yeah, I believe so. I think you're right. I'm not even paying attention to chat. Sorry, guys. One, I can barely see it. And I'm glad Will's responding. So, and I know Misty's in there. So Misty's helping chat with everybody. So yeah, that would be cool to get. Would you save the fur then?
That one I probably would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the biggest point antlers that you've got on the elk or deer?
Some that I found or shot.
Shot, sorry. Or you can be found, whatever.
Biggest one had 6 points on the right side and
Okay.
5 on the left. So
That's
yeah, because
cool.
we count them different in the west than they do in the east too. So like what they call a 4-point deer is 2 on each side.
Yeah.
We consider that a 2-point here. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well, Rick shot a 16-point buck, and this is when we were newly married, even though we dated 5 years before we got married. But whatever, it doesn't matter. Kids were little, and he's like, I want to mount that," and I'm like, "Okay." He goes, "Yeah, but we're gonna put it above our bed." I'm like, "Hell no!" Oops, I'm swearing. Sorry, guys. Sorry if there's any kids here. No, we will not be doing that. So it's up at their family cabin because that I'm like, no, we do have one in our family room downstairs, but I didn't want it in the bedroom. And I think if you would have presented it maybe a different way, and did that just for funny, and then we put it in a different room, we'd have it here at the house. But I'm like, no, thank you. But I didn't grow up hunting. My family, one of my uncles did, and his friends. But they would go close to Wisconsin, so I didn't really see it. I wasn't really involved in any of it,
Right.
So I think it'd be different if my family was more that way when I was growing up. Then I would have never said no, or never said no to Rick probably. But I'm like,
Right.
I don't want that above the bed. Gross.
I've had that conversation with my wife a couple times.
So now there's a smaller deer head in the family room down there. But anyways, and I hate to tell everybody, it's just collecting dust. We don't have like a big trophy room or anything. It's why it's a little lonesome. So I don't know, poor guy, dusty, crusty. But yeah, excuse me. Well, I do think Alaska would be a fantastic dream hunting because the bears are huge, and that would be really cool if you got one with a bow. Would you bring your son or some friends or family, or just do a trip, solo trip?
I don't
If
know.
you
That's
got,
something I've thought about. I'd probably bring some friends. I don't know if I'd bring my son
yeah,
because
he's still
with a
young.
with a bow, you've got to sneak up within like 50 yards of them.
Oh, okay.
And so I'd probably be more preoccupied, worried about if he's in a safe spot because
Yeah.
they could charge you. Like,
No, absolutely. I agree. So with bow hunting, and let's say you're there, you're Alaska, what are you going to be aiming for? The head or the heart? Or where is the best place with the bow to shoot?
probably through the lungs and heart from the side.
Okay. Oh, side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the more stuff you can get, the better chance that they can't get you.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Well, yeah, because especially, if you have like your rifle, you can, shoot a little bit faster than getting another bow. I mean, I'm sure you're fast with getting another bow, but it would still be quicker to shoot another shot.
So I'd have a guide with me that had a big rifle with him just in case. But
Oh, see,
yeah,
now I never even thought of that. That's cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
that way I don't
that's a
become
good
bear
idea.
food.
What happened to Will? He's still in Alaska. That big grizzly got him. No,
Right.
no, we don't want that. Excuse me. That would not be cool. Oh, excuse me about that. That's all right. Let's talk about some fishing. I know you took our pal Misty fishing. What's your favorite fishing? Is it to do it on the ocean and try to get big fish, or fish that you're gonna, get for the house and eat on a regular?
Um, like for the fun of it, the deep sea fishing because you get bigger fish.
Yeah.
It depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes we go backpacking and you catch tiny little trout and fry them up for dinner. So it's sometimes that's more about the experience than the actual fish you catch.
Oh, for sure.
So
So, what are some of the big fish that you have caught?
we've caught black marlin,
Cool.
um, caught some big tunas.
Wow.
We caught some mahi mahi in Mexico a year or two ago.
Did you keep any of them?
We kept we gave a lot of the meat to the guides that took us
Sure.
because we asked them because there was I think 6 of us on the boat and we caught a couple 100 pounds worth of fish.
Wow.
And so we asked if they knew families in the area that needed it. So we took enough to fry for dinner that night and gave the rest to them to give and distribute to the families there.
Oh, that's fabulous. That's super cool. Now, how long does it take you to, because how much are they weighing? Like 75, 150 pounds?
The mahi mahi we caught, they were about 35 pounds.
Okay.
So those ones were easier to catch, but we've caught tuna that were a couple 100 pounds. So those take a little bit
Wow.
longer.
Oh, I bet. Oh, I bet. And then, okay, because from watching shows, the person, that's reeling in, then they got someone else with like the big net or a hook or something, right? To
Right.
help get it in the boat. Here's me. I'm leaning back like I'm
Yeah.
whipping a fish in the boat. That's cool. Yeah, I could see the fun in doing that on the ocean, but that's some strength you have to,
Yeah.
get big fish in.
We caught a pretty decent sized red snapper with when Misty was there.
Oh, awesome. Yeah,
So
she loved that trip. She talks about it still. That's cool. I'm glad you guys got to do that.
that was
I don't know
fun.
what she's saying in there. He pulled in a Whopper on our trip. I can confirm it was all delicious. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, no, that's super cool. You guys got to do that. Did Misty try to fish anything?
Yeah, she caught several.
Yay, Misty. You don't talk about that. Yay, Misty, the fisher lady. You got
Yeah.
some. No, I've only done like lakes. I've never fished in the ocean. And the biggest thing I've ever caught was a northern. I don't know how big it was. Maybe like almost a foot long, maybe. That's probably the biggest fish I've ever caught. Not very exciting. I couldn't catch sunnies and what are those real ugly little ones? Bullfish or something?
There's bullfish. There's some
Yeah,
walleyes. They're
those
pretty
are the ones I
ugly.
seem to catch a lot when I was a kid.
Catfish are ugly looking,
Oh
depending
yeah,
on what you're
those
chasing.
are not very pretty, are they? Does your son like to fish too?
He does.
Oh, that's
So
great. Yeah, we
now
took the
he's old
kids.
enough.
Oh yeah. Well,
So
what's the age where he has to have a license? Is he still young enough he doesn't need one?
I think it's 12 in Utah, so he'll need one this year.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But
it's probably 12 here too.
but now he's at
Excuse
the
me.
age I can probably spend more time fishing than stringing hooks for him because he's losing
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think when we were kids, it was how many worms can we use? I think it was more like we were feeding the fish than we
Right.
were catching them.
Yeah.
And what else Misty say here? I caught a few little ones. I was proud. Yes, I'm proud of you too. I think that's fabulous. And you had the professional Will there helping you, guiding you. Well, let's ask that. Where would your dream fishing trip be to catch what type of fish?
Um, we're actually planning a trip to go fish for salmon in Alaska.
Oh, fun.
So them and halibut will probably do the same trip. So those should be
And
fun.
will you freeze them and bring them home?
I'll probably bring some.
Okay.
I just don't know cost wise what it would cost to ship that home.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah, I'm
Or
sure.
if they probably
There's a
wouldn't be happy if I checked it on the plane.
Hey, people check their pets. You can just say this is your security blanket. These are my frozen fish. Leave me
Right.
alone. Yeah. Excuse me. All right. You kind of mentioned hiking, and I do want to talk about hiking because you live in a beautiful state. And oh, excuse me, Will. You've shared some of the cool no, now my brain's dying on me. The word isn't ancient, but I guess it's kind of ancient of peoples that were there before and they left drawings and stuff. Do you want to talk a little bit about what is actually near you in Utah?
Yeah. So right near us, there's a lot of we. I don't know. I'm trying to remember what they call them now. We call them Anasazi ruins, but that's not politically correct anymore. I think they call them the Southern Puebloan tribes now, because Anasazi and Navajo meant ancient enemy, so they said that
Oh,
it wasn't fair to call it that anymore. But
okay. Okay.
so, but there's a lot of
Hieroglyphs. Like hieroglyphs.
the
Is that the word I'm
petroglyphs,
looking for?
the petroglyph.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. There's a lot of those. There's some of the biggest examples that you'll see is like there's one called Newspaper Rock here, and it's a rock that's probably 30 feet wide and 20 feet tall that's just covered in them.
Wow.
There's other cliff faces that are a little bit harder to get to that they're everywhere.
How fascinating. And just so cool that you and your family could just like if you wanted to every weekend go see that, you know? I mean, a lot of people don't get to do that. That's so cool.
Yeah, there's a lot out here. And then doing search and rescue, I found and learned where a lot of the lesser known ones are.
Oh
It's
yeah.
because we go out to do rescues in some of those areas, and so they have to be on the map because that might be what they were looking for.
Oh sure.
So I
Well, yeah, Rick and I, if Rick ever gets, to feeling better, we want to come out there because I know you said you would take us around, and we both want to do that. Go hiking and check everything out. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, for sure. Within an hour and a half of my house, we have Arches National Park. If you like to see the arched rocks,
Yeah,
Canyonlands National Park, Dead Horse Point,
yeah. You
Mesa
you guys
Verde.
have a
Like, there's
lot
a
of
lot.
cool. Yeah, you got a lot, and I can't remember now. You'll probably have to help me with my brain. Where is it? Where it's like colors. We're in the I don't know if they're like mountains or big giant rocks where it's like red and then kind of blue or maroon and orange. Is that in Utah or is that some other
That's
state?
in Utah. That's over in Zion's National Park.
Oh yeah, Zion's
Yeah,
National Park. I yes. See, my brain just kind of went. Ooh, ooh. Yes, we want to see that too. That's so beautiful. Well, the pictures we've seen. Pictures we've seen. Yeah. So, where would be like a true bucket list place that you would like to hike with your family and maybe camp? I don't know. Do you camp too, Will?
we do. Yeah.
Oh,
Um, I'm not sure. I think we've talked about possibly going to Africa to climb Kilimanjaro, so that might be
oh
fun.
yeah.
Um, we're
I'm
still
going to tell
figuring
you
out
right
that.
now. Buy water because a lot of people don't buy water and they don't make it to the top because they get tummy issues from drinking the local water.
Right.
So just bring a little extra money and buy water. That's the only tip I have. That's the only tip I know about.
Yeah, we've got some filtration bottles that filter
Oh,
everything out too. So
yeah,
those
that's
work.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, you'll need that because I want you guys to make it to the top. Especially if you're spending that money to get out there, you want to
Right.
make it to the top.
Yeah.
No, that would be super cool. Yeah, I know. I do. I just want to get out there so bad to see one, see you guys, but two, see everything that's around you. You have some cool stuff in your state. That's for sure.
There's a lot. There's a lot of old mine sites and stuff too, if that's something you like. So
Yeah, I like all of it. And I would even I like to see anything from history. So yeah, I would want to check it all out. Okay, let's see. I kind of got a few pages going because I was realizing I wasn't writing very nicely and I couldn't read what I was writing. Is there anything else you want to share? Have I covered all the things that I said we were going to talk about?
I don't know what else to share. Um,
Well, I'm sure there's always things that we can share, but we kind of discussed certain things that you were cool with sharing about.
right.
I think we covered everything. Well, I just appreciate you, Will, and I enjoy chatting with you because we've chatted a little bit on lives and stuff. Oh, movies. Oh, I do have a question for you. Have you seen Gladiator 2?
I have.
What do you think about it?
I think it was a lot better than what some people have said about it. It kind of picked up where the last one left off, but
Yeah, it's good. I wish they kind of did a little bit of altering. And I don't want to ruin the movie for anybody, but I think it would have been kind of cool if the guy that was my gosh, I can't think of his name. The guy that was running the gladiators,
oh, the whatever masters.
Denzel Washington. I
Yeah,
wish they kind of did like a flashback, some flashback scenes.
yeah,
I think that would have made it just a little bit more juicier.
right.
I guess that's pretty much all I really think that could have been added. No, I liked it, and I think the actors are good.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. That was kind of a different role for Denzel. Like,
It is, it
yeah,
is.
so it
And
was good
then
though.
what is it? It's not the Oscars. What's the thing before that they just had a couple weeks ago or maybe a month ago? And it was funny. He's the only person from the movie they had. And he didn't get anything. He didn't win anything. And so it's like, did they put him there because of the stature of how, famous he is and how many great movies he's made? So I don't know. Is in my thoughts, it's almost a snub to have him there just because didn't win any of the categories he was in.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, nothing terrible. I think about it, but just almost felt like a little snub. Like, oh, hey, we got you here, but you didn't win anything. I don't know.
Right.
Especially since he was the only person from the movie there for any of the categories. So. Excuse me. Yeah, I liked it, but I still like the first one better.
Yeah, it's hard to top the first one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. But I thought, oh, I gotta ask Will because I know how much you like the movie like I do. So I thought I gotta see what you think about part two. It'd be interesting to see if they do a part three. I mean, they totally could.
Yeah, I just don't know what story they would tell different than they've told already.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
It's just fun. It's fun to watch. I like those kind of movies. So that's why I guess I kind of think it'd be cool to have a third one.
Yeah, be interesting.
Yeah. All right. So thank you, Will, for being here and
Yeah.
sharing your hobbies and passions. And I'm just glad we got to know each other through, I think I'm going to guess we met through Derek's Steps Challenge.
I think so.
I think that's how we've met up. And then, and Will and I were fortunate enough to be captains. And so that was really fun to have be captains of some teams and help cheer on our teammates to get some steps each week for the month. That was a lot of fun. Maybe Derek will get around to doing that again. That was fun.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Plus, we'll keep him busy. We gotta keep
Yeah,
that young boy busy.
right.
Well, Will, thank you very much, and I appreciate you spending some time with me. And I'm guessing maybe you answered questions in the chat, which I didn't. Sorry, chat. Love you. Glad you're here. I didn't pay any attention. So, so in the future, would you be interested in doing this again? Maybe when I've gone through all my friends, and maybe whenever since we had to wait so long.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
Yay. And then maybe you've gone on your ventures and we can talk about them.
Hopefully, we'll check off some of those this year and next
Oh,
year.
yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, that'd be fabulous. Well, thank you again, Will. And please
Yeah,
check
thank
out
you.
his channel, The Grind. No, wait a minute. Am I going to say it right? The Grind with Will. Check out his channel. And then maybe soon we'll get to see some of his cool new gym equipment, which will be fabulous. And thank you for everyone in the chat and anyone that comes for the replay. Welcome, and I hope you enjoyed our first day back, Hobbies and Passions. And don't ever forget, you're amazing. You're also amazing. Thank you, Will. Bye,
Thanks.
everybody.
See ya.
I know I'm silly.